Okay, guys, we should be live. Hi, and welcome to the stream. Batwoman podcast review of episode 1, episode 2, and here with me is my longtime and dear friend, IcyHelzo, with whom we discuss a lot of such stuff, amazing stuff.
Hello, glad to be back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just gonna check again our streaming something. Okay. Uh,
Streaming something.
yeah, it's important when it's something. And
Something.
yeah, so yeah, bear with me, guys. I'm gonna be returning to view in a sec. Yeah, okay, that's great. So, guys, yep. So, guys, Battle Woman, how I like to call her.
Batwoman. The Batwoman.
Yeah, we both seen the two episodes of Batwoman, and we like to make a big, huge, fat rant about it now.
Oh boy.
So if you have, I mean, if you like to open this, first we can start like with
May I?
yeah, you can, of course. We can start by like what is the thing that is most maybe irritating about it, and then what
That
actually
it
you liked
exists.
about it. Yeah, I
The
mean,
most
first,
irritating thing is that it exists.
okay,
Like,
that's great.
first of all, I'm gonna start with like something surprising. The second episode wasn't that bad, but that's probably because you already have your expectations on the first episode, and then you're going, can it really get any worse than that? And it doesn't, so it's actually an improvement. So that's one positive thing I can say, and I'll elaborate a bit later. So back to you. What's your first commentary on this?
Well, I would say, that the most irritating thing is that the foundation and this character is based upon is basically imitating Batman. So if they're trying to say that she's like totally different and independent, that's awesome. But she is using everything that Batman has, so she's
Yeah.
entirely based on imitating Batman in the first place, and that is really not any good leg to stand on, especially when you try to create a compelling female character. She's not supposed to be copying anyone, that's is just taken away out of her personality, what makes her and what could make her actually a good character to begin with, that has some kind of a story and depth on her own. But actually she
Yeah.
is entirely based on him and what he did and he does, and I really don't like that. Is I mean,
Well,
usually
you can argue
that's
that actually this is from the new, like, right before we started. I actually read the bio for the new Batwoman, for this Batwoman, like from the comics, and she did actually took on crime fighting after she had an encounter with Batman in which he helped her. But the whole transition to her becoming Batwoman is totally different. And if they had gone with that, it would have been awesome. Because the origins is that her father is actually the one who helps her. He sent, like, in the series, in the first series, spoilers ahead if anyone hasn't seen it, her father sends her away because of the gay thing. Sorry for using the words. Hopefully, no one's offended. Because she refused to lie in the military school, she was kicked out. Her father actually, in the comics, in the bio of the comics, supports her. He sends her to military training across the, like, he actually sends her to college. Then she gets into like a wild social life in which she's like out of rails. She doesn't quite fit in. And afterwards, when she has an encounter with Batman, her father, helps her go on a military training for 2 years. And then when she comes back, he is actually the one who has the batsuit for her. He has created a batsuit specially designed for her with experimentary weapons from the military. So she basically does become her own Batwoman in a very good way in the comics. This is just like what I just read in an article, like in a bio. So it's not very detailed, but it's way better than what we got.
yeah,
Because what
yeah.
we got is totally different. Like, there's parts of the story that are the same. There are parts of the story that are not the same, and those that are not the same are very, very bad.
Yeah, exactly. And in the first episode, it started extremely cheesy and lame. One of the
No,
most
yeah.
lamest things that I've ever seen. You know, she is trying to break out of the ice. It's like, what is that? Was some kind of a metaphor that she is breaking the boundaries or
She's coming
barriers.
out.
Yeah, she's coming out or what? And then we see this very interesting, yeah, like Asian master guy that's training
He's an
her.
Eskimo, I think. Like he was a sort of an Eskimo, but yeah,
Yeah,
training her for what? Like who? Why?
for being underwater, I guess.
Yeah, escape underwater. And he actually like the main image there was awesome. He actually covered the hole. Like he covered the ice hole,
Yeah,
and like the best thing was that no one was there, like in the ice. She was all alone. What if she couldn't find the way out? What if she didn't? Like you see that she started to fade out. She has a memory, and suddenly one burst of energy. Let's go.
yeah,
And she
let's go.
breaks the ice with the handcuffs.
Yeah, that's I
Like
imagine
that
that.
doesn't happen.
Yeah, that would be
Like no
very
matter who
hard
you are.
in terms
Yeah,
of the
like no matter.
pressure and all of that, I guess, to do that.
And what, like, I get it. Tough woman in the beginning, but you could be some more realistic. You could do her like, let's say, I don't know, punching bags for hours, or just doing push-ups for an hour, like 500 push-ups. That's actually more believable. That was just stupid. Like the opening was just stupid.
Yeah, and even if we somehow forget about all of that, because the problem was that the way that it was shot and presented with the flashback, you know, the flashbacks, it was just, you know, done in such a extreme, how to say this, cheap way that you're supposed to be like connecting with the fact that she's drowning, and then with the fact that we are seeing a flashback about her, I mean, about the character that we are first just seeing, and now we have to care about what the heck's happening to very blurry flashback. And the other thing about the flashback then is that is, you know, shot like in 5 fps, which, you know, you can argue that okay, it's a memory and it's hard to represent a memory, but then we see that it's kind of like a day, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, watching the second episode also, it looks like it's during daytime, but then Batman is on the bridge on, you know, when it's daytime, and usually Batman never goes on bridges. I mean, he's
Yeah.
usually in Gotham at night. So what is Batman doing on a bridge during the day anyways? Here we
Well,
can like think
there's actually a
about that.
point in the episode, uh, which you see the article when she goes into the Batcave. She sees the article about the bus, like his diagrams when he was calculating,
Mm-hmm.
when it was actually explained very well what happened actually, because you spend half of the episode like she's blaming Batman for leaving, and I was like, Batman doesn't leave like that. And they actually explained it okay, but the article in the episode was Batman thwarts Joker's plan, and below it was the school bus. So something happened.
Yeah, that was what I wanted to say, that maybe something happened that we have no idea yet that would make sense why Batman was
Yeah,
there, because that thing with the bus, it didn't seem like it's an accident, it seemed like it was on purpose. So that would make Batman go out of his way to you know, out of the city, pursue in some way whatever was
yeah,
happening there.
just go to save the day, which
Y-
is good. Okay, I don't. wh- Question: How do you buy the story about the entire story about the car just falling in the river? Like Luke Fox explained faulty engineering in the car itself. That's why that happened. Like
Well, I understand that the car was pushed to and, you know, broke the bridge,
yeah,
basically.
like no, it broke the bridge, and Batman put two hooks to keep it stable, and the rear end just broke off. That's what Luke Fox
Ah,
kind of
yeah.
explained. So, and it was faulty engineering in the car, and Batman didn't foresee that.
Well, the car is not
Okay.
engineered to be, you know, pushed off a bridge and be held by Batman's hooks. You know, it was not
I,
engineered
I
for
have I
that.
have a friend I have a friend who would burn this theory to the ground. Like you cannot just do that to a rear end of a car, whatever the car is. Like it cannot happen.
It
He
cannot
would just
carry the
burn
whole
this whole
weight.
theory. No, it can, it
It can.
should, it can,
Ah.
yeah, because he actually put the hooks through the back window, and you have the whole trunk and everything holding the car. It doesn't happen, you know. That
Mm-hmm.
that that would not happen. Anyways,
Interesting.
like at least it was something of an explanation that Batman is not a coward, because I was actually expecting that they'd just put Batman as this coward who just leaves Gotham, which they did, but at least he cared about the people. They explained that.
Wait,
So
they did say several times that he didn't care. That's why he left.
yeah,
It
but
was so funny.
yeah,
Like,
no, the living part, yes, like nobody knows why he left. I think if we have to tie it to a certain point in the whole multiverse, it's probably after the Dark Knight Rises movie with Christian Bale when he retired and went to a coffee shop. You
to-
know, the last scene when Alfred sees him at a cafeteria,
ah,
if you remember, after Bane, everything. So probably it's something like that. If
hmm.
if we have to tie it to something,
Oh, I don't
because
think we can.
otherwise I don't know where exactly in the universe does Batman living fit.
Well,
He didn't fit, he didn't leave when he was playing by come on, last actor, the Justice League one.
um, Ben
uh,
Affleck.
yeah, he didn't leave after that. Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
So not there. So the only time Batman actually leaves is with the Christian Bale version.
Well, I don't think
So
we can connect it because we do know that it's not connected. The only connection that it would be established now is with Crisis, Infinite Earths and all of that. That's gonna be,
mm,
definitely. I mean, they're gonna even try to connect, as far as I saw the other day, the Michael Keaton Batman, which is gonna be crazy, and they're also going to have the actress from Birds of Prey that played Bruce Wayne's daughter. So if that happens, I'm gonna be like on the floor and be shocked for 10 minutes and just rolling around. But that is the rumor right now that she's also coming and that the Batman that they're going to show at least a paper from a Batman. I mean, a story about Bruce Wayne had exactly the picture of Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne. So I think that they're going to
oh
mix
boy,
at least two or three Batmans somehow in different universes because the whole idea behind Crisis on Infinite Earths is to have
lovely,
all of those Batmans and Supermans and they all exist in just a different universe, which makes of course total sense and it's great because you can mix everybody like a huge mishmash. And by the way, we have not said anything for the chat, and there's like several comments that are already piled up. So, hi guys, hi to Ivy, hi to Nikki, Kratos, James. Hello to you guys. Wow, you wrote a lot of stuff. Have to catch up. Yeah, good evening. And of course, Ivy knows you, so he's thrilled.
yeah. I'm just reading the last comment, and it's pure gold.
Oh,
You
oh,
should totally screen cap that.
oh, wait. Maybe Bruce took a hit to the head, which caused him to believe he really is a bat. Afterwards, he departed to a dark cave and decided to live to the hunting of
I salute you.
bugs.
I salute you, good man. This is
Yeah.
actually this would be actually a, like if this was actually introduced into a movie or just filmed, just imagine seeing Ben Affleck upside down. He's like,
Yeah, I do imagine that actually. It was going to be a very huge bat. He's very huge.
yes, it's
Uh,
gonna be a tuflek bath
Tubrek. That's a Bulgarian word for you can say like a very large man.
for
That's
a damn.
yeah, that's kind of like not very athletic actually, but
Nope.
maybe in his off season, it's bodybuilding term.
Lovely.
Yeah, Kratos. I mean Nikki. Yeah, it's chilling here as well. Not that chilling, but yeah. Jace, I hope you enjoyed the stream if you watched first episode. So yeah, those are our guys in the chat right now. So if you're going through the episode exactly as it was, I would
We
say
we we gotta we gotta talk also about
the line.
the line, that line, the epic line, the perfect line, the
About the
perfection
costume.
line. Yeah. First of all, do you want to talk about it now, or you want to say something
I
else?
just wanted to go everything one by one so that forget,
All
some
right, go
things.
for it.
So okay,
Because I
so
have something to say about it, but later. Go.
okay, so after the flashback, basically, we have this voiceover by Kate Kane, which is very weird. It's just weird because I don't know who is she talking to. I actually, oh wait, maybe
She's talking to
she's
him.
writing to Batman because she started writing to Batman in the end of the episode. So she's basically telling her story if he ever comes back. So that just got to me. Yeah, I remember that part. So that is why we have voiceover. Okay. I just explained that to myself.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the episode, the voiceover refers to Batman in third person as like she doesn't know who he is.
Oh, you're
And
right.
writing it, she's writing to Bruce.
Damn it, you're right. So that means that I just
It's a narration. It's a standard TV series narration to you, like
ah,
every CW TV series.
damn it. I mean every CW series, at
Every
least.
like when you start with the Flash and everything,
Oh yeah, he
like
says my name is Betty.
even
Yeah.
the yeah, yeah, and no, even like in some of the episodes he actually did some narration.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
especially in the earlier episode.
I don't remember to be that, that that much like here because here is like all the time. Especially in the beginning, like in the end, it's just very obvious. And I just wanted to make more sense of it, but I guess there's not that much sense to it as I would like to make it. And hi milkshake, damn it. Sorry
No,
guys.
it's basically a standard narration to the audience, which is
Yeah, it's not the
it's
worst thing in the
it's
world.
yeah, it's what can I say? It's not taking any chances. Like it's just playing it standard.
Yeah, although I would totally go without that. I mean, it's like breaking the fourth wall for no reason in some ways.
Well, yeah, you are right, but it's descriptive. Like some people like it because it's picturing a story in words and image, which is kind of what a narrative can be at sometimes.
Yeah, you can
But
call it a style.
again,
You can
yeah.
call it a style of presenting a story.
Now what you say in in the narration does matter, and what she said in the narration was useless. So yeah,
Oh. Okay, so next thing basically is that we see Kate Kane that we have to this point at the beginning of the episode, we have to think about her like she's so badass, and she trained with this very ancient guy, under the ice. But next thing you know, she's trying to beat up some guys, and they beat her. She gets captured by her crazy. By the way, in the comic books, spoiler alert, Alice is her sister, and she is
and
that
in the first episode,
crazy, and that she does look like this, and she does have this personality to her. And the thing that just struck me is how although she's so badass. She of course she gets beaten, and when she tries to notice that somebody's like sneaking up on her in the first like few scenes, literally, and she noticed somebody, she's able to react. In the next one, somebody actually does sneak up on her, and she's knocked out. So I'm like, okay. So she is aware when she is aware, but when she's actually just not. Logic.
the
So
funniest thing is one particular thing in that scene. Like she's beating up some guys. Actually, she actually beat 3 or 4 guys before she getting knocked out. But there was one of those guys who just pulled out a knife and just nipped her in the shoulder. Like he had a full swing. Like you can see it. He could have swung and just punctured her. He was like, and she beat him up. Like he was like, "I'm gonna cut you."
yeah.
That was it. What the fuck was that? You have a knife, you have the perfect position, you can do that, and just puncture her lungs, and he's like in the shoulder. That's
How
it.
modest of him. How
Yeah.
modest of
Oh,
him.
she's a girl. No cry.
Yeah,
And
just
she beats him and smashes his head in the fridge.
yeah, just a bit of a damage now. Oh, oh, oh. Oh gosh.
I'm gonna poke you.
Yeah, that's
That's
what
it.
it annoys me in all of the CW shows. They think that viewers are idiots, and sometimes they just do such scenes that are so unrealistically ridiculous. I mean, you have to not suspend your disbelief, but suspend your disbelief and be an idiot to buy that. I mean, I don't know if kids could buy even those fight scenes and what was happening
No,
there.
in this case, they're actually this fight scene. They're trying to focus on that she is doing something. She's finding Alice, and she eventually is overpowered by man. Man, can you see the message? The
No.
man overpowers her.
No, I this time I really can't because it looks like she just not she doesn't have any experience on the field, so to speak. So of course she gets
Yeah,
beat up first time, which is normal in that case. But
yeah,
at
but like
least,
if she was training for 2 years, she would get some more skills.
but
Like
she was in the
Batman, after
military.
like she was in the military, and afterwards she was getting her comment on that. I spent I don't know how much time traveling all around the world acquiring martial arts so I can be ready for the crawls. And here comes one more thing that we missed. Her girlfriend, former girlfriend,
Mm-hmm.
the one who got kidnapped, she's in the crawls, right?
Yeah.
So that girl is in the crawls. And Kate is not, even though she has traveled different martial arts all over the world. Who's better? And her girlfriend just got knocked out by the second guy she met. The
Mm.
second guy, like she beat up one guy, and the second guy tried managed to knock her off the rail.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie's better in every direction, and they're trying to convince us that she's not good enough for the crawls, and that's why her old drama with Daddy.
It just it's so convoluted the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah,
I
you,
can't
you,
myself make any sense of it. I'm trying to like connect it, but then I have to finish the story myself so I can connect it like I did with thinking that she's talking to Bruce, but she's really
yeah.
narrating just for the sake of narrating.
Not to mention that after that you find out that actually it's just her dad being overprotective of her, which is another message to that she's a frail little girl that cannot take care of herself. You know,
That her
2 years in
dad,
the military, 2 years fighting, going under ice, breaking the ice with the hand. She's a frail little girl.
but
Yeah,
that still doesn't matter. That's still not enough. She's still frail. Let's see what Ivy
yeah.
says. He says, yes, narration for shows like this can ruin the flow of the story. Some shows have a bit of narration which works, but usually these are deep dramas where it invokes further emotion. A polite bad guy, that's nice behavior of his on his part. Maybe he wasn't paid enough to be full on bad guy. So I guess that they peeled the glitch messages. Oh, I'm not reading that. Cliche, sorry.
They piled the cliche messages all throughout the episode.
It's Monday, guys. It's Monday, guys. I actually had a very
It's
busy
Monday, it's
Monday.
evening, we're tired, we're frustrated, we had to watch Batwoman. Please forgive us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had so much to say about this that I just can't organize my thoughts right now. They're just
No, if we have to nitpick every single thing, it gets worse and
yeah, yeah,
worse
it's gonna
and
get
worse
5 hours.
and worse.
So, okay,
Yeah.
let's get to the things that, let's say, I mean, I'm gonna point out literally the what I like and what I don't like. First, I'm going to say that the future Batwoman suit that we see here, it's gonna be like in the next episode. I really actually like this. This is comic book accurate, and I just like the aesthetics of it. I mean, I like the red with the black, the hair, and she looks a lot more feminine actually in this costume and
And she looks legit.
yeah and the the rubber is very good quality. It doesn't look like something cheap. It looks like that's actually pretty good, and it's modern, so to speak.
Wait,
Whereas, yeah, the Batman suit. Wait, the Batman suit in the cave and the line that we saw there is the most ridiculous thing I've heard in a while of a TV show or anything, actually. That guy, whatever his name was, Fox something.
Luke Fox, the son of Lucius Fox.
Yeah, who was Lucius Fox, by the way? I was trying
Lucius
to
Fox,
remember.
in the Dark Knight series, he's Morgan Freeman.
Ah, the
Morgan
guy
Freeman
that
plays
makes
Lucius Fox.
the
The suits, the
uh-huh.
gadgets, everything in this.
But we do have this guy in the CW universe. His father. Do we have him as a character?
I don't know.
And that's the
Ah,
question.
no, wait. We have him in Gotham, I think. Yeah, we have him
Eh?
in Gotham, and I don't know who's playing it, but I remember it was good.
I
Again, he
I
was a
haven't
Black
seen
Knight,
Gotham.
so that, well, he comes around, and I think in the later season. So, anyways,
Yeah. Anyways,
can
so
I say something
this
now?
can I what? Can you what?
Are we at the bat suit? Because I'm just trembling to just.
Okay,
Ah,
okay, let me just finish this because it's bursting
yes.
out and yours gonna burst as well.
Ah,
So for this Lucius Fox guy, he is the stereotype for every other Cisco character from Flash, which is just so irritating. And superheroes these days they just cannot be alone. They have to have 500 people behind them, otherwise they cannot do shit. Excuse my language, without
and they have to
anybody.
be fanboys.
Yeah, they have to be like nerdy fanboys that are literally like, this costume is literal perfection. And I'm like, literal perfection? Are you blind? I can't. Like, I'm gonna explode. This costume is the worst, most ugly thing I ever seen ever in costume history, and every other cosplayer that is drunk on 5 rakias and 5 vodkas and 5 whiskeys and on crack will do this costume better. And that is
And
it.
this includes the Adam West original Batman 1960s costume. This includes that. It's still worse than that.
Yeah, and I also have tits even before she wears the thing, because this costume is supposed to
And the
be
emblem,
remade.
the symbol, the bat symbol, it was like it was sewn by a naked grandma in the freezing cold with two frozen hands, and she was trying to do it with her nose.
Yeah, and not only that, but the tits. I mean, that's not man's chest sculpt for a costume. That's a man's chest, fat guy slash women's breasts that are saggy, and the his head and all of that distance through the chest is so freaking huge that they're basically in his stomach. Like, what the heck? Anatomy, someone! I just can't. I just
The
can't.
suit is literal perfection.
Literal perfection? Come here, tell that to my face. Tell that to my face. Just, I dare you. I
No, no,
dare you
no, no,
again.
no.
No.
This is the whole like I didn't actually because I'm getting a comment like the Fit a Woman line. I didn't actually get so mad this time about that line because it is a frustrating and a stupid and a friggin' SJW line. But I didn't even get so mad about that because while she was trying to say it, I'm looking at the suit and I was like, what the frick? Ah!
You're still stuck on what the fuck. You're still stuck on what the fuck while she's saying that line. It's so damn ugly,
I
this
was
costume.
even my cat was terrified. Was she? She was.
Oh,
Yes, she
sure, sure,
was.
sure. She's so cute. Oh, she grew up so much. Oh, she's so cute. Oh gosh. Oh, just let me catch with the comments because I'm sure they're
Yeah.
hilarious. So let's see. So, oh, the Fit the Woman line. The trailer cringed many of us to death with a single sentence. And oh, I didn't expect this. Well, I'm tempted to watch the show just to see this costume. Yeah, yeah,
You
please
should.
do. Even worse than the 60s one? My God. Well, at least that one was somehow, fitted to Adam West, whereas this one's not even atomically correct, not even fit to be worn by a human being. It was that far off in terms of anatomy and everything else. God save me. Then this is the Marvel of Chaos. You have to watch it now. Yeah, definitely, Ivy. Nikki says, "Who could knew that a show with lesbian girl wearing leather could be so bad?" Yeah, from guys' perspective, they made this thing
that's
worse.
because that's because they're shown on different websites.
Oh, okay. I can't comment on that, but yeah. Yeah, break negative records, it seems. Well, I first want to say that, her costume again, it's really, really good. And they didn't had to bring Batman down in any kind of a way to make her, look better compared to him. That's ridiculous. It's so disrespectful to Batman as a character, and it's disrespectful actually to her as a character, because once again, you should not bring somebody down to push someone up. That's the definition of, like, a bullying, being a loser, and so many other things that superheroes should not be associated with. So this
Yeah, but that's
initially
what
is terrible approach to this character and to
the
Batman.
show is about, like empowering the woman. Batman couldn't do the job, so you get someone better to do it.
But that should not be
That's
the
why you had the
message.
cringiest lines in the trailer. Like, by the way, some of the lines in the show in the first episode who were from the trailer are removed, which I don't know if that was done now or they just didn't intend to have them, or they will be there in some wicked extended version somewhere in the future. But in
God
any
no.
case,
God
no,
no. I
we pray
can't.
that this does not happen. But let's say the I'm gonna do the like I'm gonna make an example. The when she was talking with her father, and it's like you're the female Bruce Wayne, and she doesn't reply the tough, handsome anything that whatever that is not in the episode. Sorry for the spoiler. Uh, and that's it. Like they removed some of it. I don't know if they removed everything. I'm still waiting for. I'm not about a man to let a man do a woman's job. Because if that's still in there, I'm gonna laugh my
Cringe, cringe. But
cringe.
but yeah, my point is that it's really terrible to base your entire character on the fact that you're pushing another one down, and to not, instead of being like, well, okay, Batman is great because he's Batman on his own, no matter if he's a guy or not, he's great because he's Batman. He did so much for Gotham and for the people, and now they're like, Batman, phew, this stupid guy, like, oh, he left us, he's such a disrespectful pile of crap, where he almost gave his life like 500 times for the city, and they know that, but now they're going to be left only with the negative feeling about him, with negative memory about him. That just doesn't make any sense. He would be a
That's
hero in
that's how
that,
we.
is the real world. And
That's
which
the wrong way to empower someone. Yes.
exactly, and that's what I mean. That to be respectful to him and to be respectful to her as a character, to make her her own thing, they should totally not, of course, not do that. They have to create and build her up, to make some kind of a, struggle story for her, how she overcomes stuff, how she became her own person, and to not say, negative things about, well, basically anyone else without having any reasons for that, and to compare this, I mean, to compare them in such a literally sexist way. I mean, sexist towards him, of course. It's just absolutely ridiculous. It's not necessary. It's not only necessary, but it's evil, actually. So I don't know what the heck is happening here. I mean, they forgot the value system of what makes a person a hero, what makes, anybody, human beings, a good person,
No, it's not that. It's not that. They just have that idea that you have to bring the icon of the strong man down. You have to humiliate them. That's how they work. Next thing that's probably gonna happen in the future is they're gonna do the same with Superman. They actually tried,
They kind
like,
of did that already, actually.
no, 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 they didn't because Wonder Woman did not do the job.
No, I'm
Like she
talking about
did
the TV shows. The TV shows, they did make him
with the
weaker.
Supergirl.
Yeah, because she beat his ass.
Oh, I haven't watched that. Sorry, but no, I mean like they're okay. So I stand corrected. I haven't watched, but
Mm.
this is the idea. This is the general idea. Uh, wait. Sorry, I got it back. Actually, Kara Zor-El is stronger than Kal-El in the comics and in some of the animation because she can actually absorb sunlight better than him.
What?
She is potentially stronger than him.
I never heard that ever.
There is information about that, so technically it's plausible.
But what about
However,
Superman, All Star Superman, where he absorbs so much power he
that
benches I don't know what.
yeah, like we can also talk at the time he punched the universe in one of the comics
That's funny.
or one of the older movies when he reversed time by spinning so fast that the planet turned in the different direction.
Yeah, but
He
that's
actually
something that
reversed
she's
time. Yeah.
supposed to do as well. But as a female, she's logically should be, weaker physically than him, especially if he has more mass than her, which he does have more mass than her because she's a man. He's a
Again,
man.
this is Kryptonian science. I'm not going to argue. Sunshine, they're basically level 4 vegans that only eat sunlight, so
Ah,
you can
well,
argue you can argue with that science. I'm not gonna touch that.
I'm
But
pretty
again,
sure.
she's potentially stronger than him. There is actually Superman or just no, it's not Justice League Doom, but it's Superman Doomsday or no, something with dark. It was something with Darkseid that we were first introduced to Supergirl, to Kara Zor-El, and Batman actually tests her in his lab and finds out that she can actually absorb sunlight better than him. So basically, she might be stronger than him. That's mentioned, and it was mentioned in several comic issues. I think they actually fought in one of them, and she won, but that was from the older comics. Again, not the point. Sorry, I went off the rails a bit. The point is that when modern SJWs want to empower girls, female characters, instead of building them up, going with the original story, building them up as their own thing, not as degrading and just belittling the male version of themselves or the males around them, trying to picture them as the struggling female in a cruel white man world because that's very far from the truth. They do that. They do what they're doing with this show. They're doing what you told me they're doing with Supergirl, and that's it. That's how they do it. They don't pull the plot aside. They just take a male icon like
One of
Batman
the
in this
best.
instance.
Yeah, one of the
Yeah,
best.
Batman, Superman. Uh, the new Iron Man is also a woman. In the
Ah!
comics, yeah, she's a black teenager who's a genius. There was an issue a few months back. In any case,
Is she also a transgender
no, 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 no,
Eskimos?
no, no. No, this was actually it was actually it's not the topic of the show of this episode with
Yeah,
us.
sorry, yeah.
What I'm saying is that this is the classic example of SJWs going rogue, like giving them the power to do something like that. You were very right when you said that she could be built in a very good way because the history of this Batwoman in the comics is good. It's actually good. It's plausible. It's nice. It's been done. It's very balanced. Okay, she's lesbian. No worries. Not that's not a thing that is actually very special or should be viewed as something wow. Okay, she's lesbian, it's normal. It shouldn't focus on that. The half of the first episode here was focused on that
Yeah,
actually.
it's emphasized, it's our in our faces. It's too much on our faces, and that is how
Yeah,
you should not do it. Yeah. So I get it.
you have it in the comics as well, like okay, she was kicked out of the military, homosexual conduct, all right, this is a thing, this and probably is a thing in some military regimes, but you should not focus on that. You should not focus on that thing.
Yeah, especially
It's not what
where
defines her.
absolutely.
She's lesbian. She's a tough woman.
That's what
What else do
matters.
you have? She's a woman.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's the character. What's
Uh,
her background? What's like? She's so two-dimensional in the first and in the second episode.
of
She's
course.
so straightforward without like deviations from the core character. She's not, at least in those two episodes, one of the things that doesn't happen is that they do not evolve her at all.
Yeah.
She's the same in the first episode and the same in the second episode, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're right. You're right. I want to say something about that. Ah, yeah, that of course, what defines her character should not be related to her sexual orientation whatsoever. And I did watch one American reviewer that did say that this politics that in America is called "Don't Ask, Don't Tell," that it was in the military, was basically removed 10 years ago. So they're still trying to push something on us that's already been solved and to make a problem out of nothing that's not existing anymore, but they still want
Yeah.
to make us feel bad about it and sympathize with her in this way, which is so cheap writing and it's just not the way to do it. But I understand actually your point that SJW way is this way, and I was talking about how it should be and how it was actually before. But now, as far as I heard from other people that also continue to watch Supergirl, Arrow, and Flash, they all made those shows in that same way. And I haven't watched them for a while. I tried to watch the first episode of the new season of Supergirl just to check how things were, and things were still very much cheesy. Things were very much did in a way that a 10-year-old boy or a girl will believe maybe that this is how it happens. This is how characters interact, this is how story goes. It's so predictable in every single way that
Yeah.
as a viewer you're feeling like your intelligence is being underestimated so much that even when I was a little girl, and I was watching shows, whatever, the shows were much more sophisticated in terms of writing, and I was able to get them. But now even that they're showing us, it's so stupid that I should be even like what 5 to be that naive in the ways of thinking that to buy whatever they're trying to sell me, with everything that's happening into that those shows. And about Superman, Supergirl's strength, I'm sure that Kiru, my colleague from Superheroes Bulgaria, he could not
Yeah.
be here today.
If
He
I'm
could
wrong,
be,
that's just
he could add on
I
to that
I
definitely.
I think it has happened. I don't know if it's canon. It might be a side story, but in any case, I've always said one thing since the whole like Marvel universe, DC universe started. And you know what? You know my opinion that like DC dominates the animated world, like movies, animated series, everything in animation. DC is the best. Every DC movie that has ever existed, every DC series is good, is amazing. Even from the most childish ones, they're still good. Not talking about the new Titans, the Young Justice, the every movie, the new Batman Hush. If you watched it, it was friggin' amazing. But in terms of actual people, actual emotion, like to bring a character, to bring an actor who shows good emotions, Marvel are a lot better than that. A lot better than DC. Like you could line all the live action and TV series in Marvel and DC, and there I don't think there's a single one TV series that DC beats Marvel in, and there's probably two movies or three that DC has ever produced that is better than Marvel, and I'm talking about the Dark Knight series.
Well, I think this is very. First of all, Hush was not that good at all for me, and not only for me, but Kiri will say that in the comic books, the story is actually much more awesome, and he told it to me, so I can tell that it's so much deeper and so much more interesting. They actually removed a lot of the things that made it what it was. So we have the usual case here of, well, we have great material here, but no, I'm gonna change it and make it just average. Yay! I mean, when you
Yeah, but
compare it, you will say that it's
my
totally
main my
average.
main my main point is like in execution, because if you think about it, even this version of Batwoman does have some value if it was only made and executed better
Oh yeah.
in a live action environment. Because Batman Hush might be like I haven't read the comics, sorry. However, what I saw was very entertaining and in the execution. However, in the live action, they don't have what I don't know. They don't have what it takes. They have great actors actually. They have like even the Flash has great actors. Batwoman, she does have good actors in there, but they don't do what they have to do. They don't. I don't. I'm thinking that they're actually putting a gun to their head and they're saying, "You're sticking to the script, no freedom at all." Because whatever the script is, you gotta have some of your own freedom to do it your way. And if you don't have that, and if you're just sticking to the script, it's gonna blow, and that's what it happens. And that's just one of the reasons that this show is bad.
Yeah, but we do have to make a difference between movie live action, TV show live action, and then the animations. I mean, because the way that we're talking
Yeah.
right now, we're kind of blurring everything together, and you know, a lot of people, for instance, for the live action part, and not only the live action, I mean the movies, you know, a lot of people like me, you know, I'm not the only one, definitely, do see how much more this is sophisticated in terms of storytelling and visual sometimes wise. Like a lot of people do love, for instance, Man of Steel, and do think that it's a very good movie. Then some people kind of deviate on Batman v Superman. Then some people, I mean, super love, you know, Wonder Woman. Aquaman was absolutely amazing. Joker now is, for me, basically the best movie that human beings ever made, almost. I mean, it's so good. It's not my type of a movie even, but it's such a high quality cinema that it just blows your mind. But that is actually something that has a story on his own. I mean, the director did say that if you want to beat Marvel, you have to do what they cannot do, which is to make the stories, you know, darker, grittier, but not in the way that Nolan did, just to explore, you know, characters in a deeper way, like, you know, character studies. And if that somehow um, grows into something else, okay, but they want to focus on making a very, very good movie, even if it's like literally standalone. That's another topic. But um,
Yeah.
the other thing that I wanted to quickly mention, for instance, the TV show universe, live action universe, where we have Agents of Shield. That show is Marvel show, but it completely started to suck, and it still sucks, continues to suck. Uh, and what else
No,
actually
no,
was?
the later seasons, yeah, blurred out, but it started well.
Yeah, it started well, but then it also became very weak in its writing. You just can't buy anything that's happening. It's getting more stupid, and just like, pff, like what the heck? I mean, it has similar problems like DC in terms of believability. If you're even buying anything that's happening, and just ridiculousness all around. DC was able to build this universe for the CW shows, and even the shows that are not part of the CW universe, and now connect them, which is great. But just the problem was that after actually the first season of Supergirl, everything just went so downhill for every other show, and everything became SJW. You know, her sister was not gay, and then all of a sudden she did become gay like this, and so many other stuff, and that Supergirl does and says in the show that's just ridiculous and over the top, and you know, overly
In general, it's
dramatic.
a matter of how long a show can keep you entertained because before it runs out of ideas.
Yeah, Sant, by the way, Sant is here, and I do think before we
Yeah,
continue, we just have to look at the chat real quick. So, Real quickly, yeah, Milkshake, HGWs are running films and TV shows. Absolutely, and the stupid thing is that they're a very small community that is super loud, that actually gets louder than normal people, and we should not do that. So that's why we are gathering here and actually giving our voice, because we have to have the counter side, which is actually the normal side. And Ivy says you're both very right. The sad thing is that it's a totalitarian agenda. It can be satisfied just with small gifts, so the result is ridiculously obvious grab from the OP
Oh, being masculine.
masculine. Jeremy Renner is in trouble. Well, yeah, maybe you mean that he's also going to be replaced by a female version of the character. Apparently, he threatened his wife with the gun over child custody. That's for real. That's I thought that you were talking about Hawkeye. If that's for real, then that's another topic entirely. And I'm sorry if this happened. Yeah, that sounds serious, Ivy. Yeah, yes, bring the stuff that is not even relevant for 2019 exactly. U.S. It heard about the military. I heard about the military so-called homophobia they push. It's OBS. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is, and they could be sued for this if that is real. I'm pretty sure they could be sued if they are really
They
homophobic.
can they can just go, we're going at a time, like the flashback is from a time that this was still in power.
Yeah, and hello Sam.
They won't be able to sue them for that.
Oh, really?
No.
If that was the case, yeah, but nowadays, if the show is now, if it's
Yeah,
not
the
in
show is
effect.
nowadays, but that thing that happened.
So it was like 10 years ago?
Yes, you
Well, it's
10, 5, whatever.
if
They can
it's
spin it around all they want. Nobody's gonna
okay.
try to sue them.
Nobody ages here. Nobody ages. And
Yeah,
Griffin, hi
everyone
to
is
you.
25.
Absolutely, everyone's 25. And about that, by the way, I really like, Ruby Rose visually. Well, I don't like woman with short hair, just my preference. Just it's not sexy or anything else. So the fact that they're pushing to be Batwoman and womanly things, she does not look like a woman, and she does not walk even like a woman, and she wears all of those clothes that make her look like a very, very
A
skinny
dude,
young guy.
a
Yeah,
metrosexual.
yeah, not even I mean, why does she has to be? That's another thing that they're pushing. I mean, they're trying to push that she is gay, okay, but why they have to make her look like the stereotype? If they want to deviate from that,
Because she's the man without the man.
that's
She's the
ridiculous.
strong woman.
That's
Yeah, it
ridiculous.
is.
It is
It is.
contradictory. It totally contradicts actually what they want to push here. So if she does not, she is a man without a man. Why does she has to be a man? If she doesn't need a man, why a man is a present at all here in this look and her whole
Because they
personality?
want her to present like she's a strong, independent woman, and they literally make her like a the like strong and independent and masculine. It's a man, but they don't want a man, so they make a woman look like a man. But she's a woman, and
That's
she
so
looks like a man.
ridiculous.
This the logic is non-existent,
Exactly.
but it's like that's how they think. And I'm not even joking here. I'm not even like trying to berate them or something. I'm just telling you how they think. They think that way. They want to be like every trans person nowadays in the US, like the guy, like it's ma'am from the clip. It's
Oh
ma'am
yeah.
at the GameStop. Yeah. Did that thing look like a woman to you?
No.
No, but it identified as a woman. Like I even like Ruby Rose, she is a girl. She's actually quite nice. She's quite charming.
She's model,
But
she's very good looking face. Yeah.
okay, yeah, but they made it like with those long skinny muscles and like just, oh, I'm gonna be strong. I'm strong. I'm strong. She's not strong. She has to be agile. She
She's
has to be
actually
slick. She has to be slim. She has to be like movable, not like a butch trans something that goes, I'm not gonna kick your ass.
Oh, sorry. Well, it looks ridiculous because she's so thin. If she had some frame on her, some some frame, whatever frame. I mean, bodybuilding style of a body like Wonder Woman or something else, that could work. You can see the physical presence, but she is just like a stick. So it looks ridiculous, like a stick walking around trying to be.
Yeah, basically, she's just like a walking woolen plank with the sticks outside,
Yeah, exactly. And her
and she
movements are
walks
very
like that. Like
wooden.
she's like a robot.
Yeah,
Kratos says that this confuses his sexual orientation, which is nice.
yeah, well, he's very funny. Without the man, without the man, sums their mindset perfectly. Yeah. Oh.
Like okay, let's move what happens afterwards. Like this is basically the first episode. Like we you have the standard ending that's shown in the trailer actually when Batwoman saves the the Renee. She is she even called Renee then?
Uh,
Uh,
just wait. Hi to Matata Baraka, and Kratos
Hello.
says, "I'm a guy in a lesbian body or a girl mind in a man's head." Well, I don't know. You have to ask Trisha Paytas if you know who that is. She recently came out as a transgender, and she's been a girl that's been very girly all this time, and her whole content is based on her sexual stuff and her fat, gain weight, not gaining weight, making a liposuction. I mean, the boyfriend that she had that day, she's crying on the floor, she's crying on the kitchen floor, she's crying on all the floors in her house. And all of a sudden, she's turns out that means that she is trans. So the whole world and the trans community right now that have some kind of a reason in their heads actually are doubting her because she previously came out as other stuff. So yeah, maybe next time it's going to be a helicopter that identifies herself as a cat. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I mean, you have to check.
She's an Apache helicopter.
You have to check. You have to check her out. Even TMZ went to her and asked her like, "What the heck is going on,
Who are
Trisha?"
you? What are you? Why do you exist?
Yeah, well, she's famous in Hollywood, but basically
Get to the
because
chopper.
she slept with all of the Hollywood's guys, but she is a transgender
And they
man.
and they can never wash it away.
Yeah, I identify as a Xena Warrior Princess born in 2000 and something.
I am a feminine and beautiful flower. Would
Yeah.
you like to date me? Hey.
Yeah.
It's stupid. All right.
I'm
Want to
gonna
get back
cry.
to the
Yeah, yeah.
topic because the whole butch thing is like what they're probably gonna see throughout the show. Hi, cat.
Yeah, I'm also going to cry. So let's continue, please.
So I think that's pretty much sums up the first episode. It's exactly what I expect from the trailer. Now I think that the more interesting thing is what happens in the second episode
Yeah,
because
indeed.
that's when you have progress,
Yeah.
which was actually strange for me. But the show actually picks up and gets off the ground a little bit. It becomes a bit better. And by a bit better, just I want to clarify, I went with zero expectations. I was not disappointed that it sucked balls. But then it stopped sucking a little bit and probably just resumed licking them lightly. So it's still bad, just not as bad.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It has it started to pick up actually from second episode, and you don't have all the oh, it's so cute. It distracted me. You don't have all the negative anti-man lines in there, definitely. But the other thing actually that struck me in the second episode is how incompetent she is, and that she's trying not to learn what the Batcave has to offer. All the gadgets, she doesn't have
Yeah,
any idea of
yeah.
what they do. Even did not try to learn them because she is coming with that suit that, by the way, was perfectly made for like 1 hour and something, and she appeared literally a bit later in the day, I mean at nighttime, with the costume fully ready,
Yeah.
and then fought with it, tried to use the grappling hook, fell almost to her death to a mattress that she didn't know it was there, I'm pretty sure. And then, risk her
Lucky.
love, her girlfriend's life. And by the way, her girlfriend is African American once again, because we have this cliche that in Supergirl was the same. Her girlfriend was also African American. Uh,
She
like
was?
there's so many,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
there's so many things that
Yeah, yeah.
repeat themselves through the shows. If you watch all the shows, you see that there's the same guy in Arrow. I mean, the same guy, black guy with glasses, that is Mr. Terrific. It's the same guy. It's like the same character. It's ridiculous. And I know
Yeah,
they're
it's the
different
same model.
characters,
It's the same model.
but it's the same
Every
like formula, model, whatever wish you call it. And in the Supergirl, we now have Cisco there. We have a guy that's basically Cisco, and he even looks like Cisco. I think he's Brainiac, by the way, or some kind of a good version of it. But I just started watching the new season, so I have no idea. But he is talking with this very narrative, manly voice, which is very interesting actually, because he doesn't look manly at all. But he's so sophisticated with his speech that it's very interesting to listen to him. Actually, it's fascinating. But the point is that he's exactly that character that's very smart, very capable, and he has everything to say on every freaking situation. And Supergirl cannot move a muscle without him doing anything. So she's
You're
perfectly
talking about
not
the blue
capable.
guy?
I think he's blue on the poster, but I have not
Yeah,
seen him
that's
blue
Brainiac
yet.
5. That's Brainiac 5 from the League of Superheroes from yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. But
He does exist. He's an actual
well,
yeah.
he could, but the point is that all of those characters, although they play different characters, that they actually, I mean, they exist actually in the comic books as well, they're exactly the same, or basically copy and paste version. Like you have
Yeah,
default
basically you have the same
blueprint.
formula repeated over and over. Like, but you have it repeated throughout such a little time frame that you can actually see it. It's stupid. Like, it takes no chances, and you'll be seeing a lot more of that as well. You'll be
Yeah.
see that in the future episodes of this show, in the other shows as well.
Yeah, but the main thing that started to pop out in all of those shows at the beginning was the first formula. I mean, the first blueprint. I think it was the fact that behind the superhero, there are just not just one, not just two, not just three, but like 5, 10 people that supporting him all the time, and he cannot move a muscle without those people. Then the same thing happened when we got the Flash. First we got the Arrow,
Oh yeah.
the team
Oh,
got bigger and bigger. He had to have a lot more people to talk about, apparently, and again, he could not do anything himself. Uh, you
what
know,
happened to
what happened
those?
to superheroes? I mean, their own
Being
investigation
alone.
abilities, their own abilities in general. What the heck happened to that? No, no, we cannot. I mean, they cannot be alone. They have to have 10 people. Then the Flash, even more people. Then, Supergirl. I'm like, oh, Supergirl should be alone. Supergirl, no, the whole organization behind her back. Like, what's next? Like an army? Like a planet? Like, what the heck is going
Well,
on
you
here?
have the Martian Manhunter. You have her sister, who's super trained, and I think she actually had a power suit at one point. You have that boyfriend, the Zeldarian, or what, from the neighboring planet, the Prince. You have Brainiac. You have who else? Other heroes from the future.
The whole
You have an
TPO
army. You have
organization.
an army. You have an army. If you're gonna do that, go for something like Justice League or the
Jane
Legends of
Olsen.
Tomorrow. The Legends of Tomorrow. They're a team. They're equally important. They have their own story arcs. Not do it for one person solo band with a supporting group. It's like watching a solo artist on stage. He's like, these are my support bands. I'm the guy, but they help me out.
Yeah,
Like,
they're like puppets. Superhero like puppets these days, and Sans really tried to write something. Power of friendship, aka people that may backstab them at some point. Well, that's a potential thing actually, and with Supergirl and Lana Luthor, when they introduced Lana Luthor and the way that
yeah,
she looked, the family that she comes from, you immediately are like, okay, she's going to be the bad guy eventually, or the bad girl.
yeah,
Well,
they were spinning it around so much. Oh, I'm not.
yeah, and
Okay, okay,
eventually
I'm a
she
little
is
bad. I'm
now.
not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I don't
now
know.
she
I haven't
is.
watched that.
And the guy for 2.5 Men is the freaking Lex Luthor, and he's the most unassuming guy, the most nerdy guy ever, and
Who?
he's not even opposing in any way. The guy from Two and a Half Men
Which
is
guy?
uh Charlie's brother.
He is Lex Luthor.
Yeah, that guy, that same guy, that awkwardly
Guess I'm
guy.
drinking cyanide tonight. Uh,
Only he's with
what? They
bald
couldn't
head.
get the Lex Luthor from Justice League?
No, how could
Or was
you?
he too menacing for them?
Yeah, yeah, and you should
With the
look how
gummy
ridiculous
bears!
he
With the
looks.
gummy bears! Have a
Yeah,
gummy bear!
yeah. I mean, if you thought that Jesse Eisenberg was cheesy or ridiculous or anything like that, this is worse. This is worse. Believe me.
We're doomed.
It's like Mario being like
I,
Sutor.
I want someone to snap, I want someone to snap and make a He-Man TV series. He-Man! But the original He-Man, like with the spandex, with the everything, with the strap-ons, with everything, with Skeletor just muscling skeleton with unresolved sexual tensions towards He-Man. I want that show to be remade in present day.
Hold on, hold on.
I'm holding a
Hello?
cat.
Hello, yeah. Is this John Cena? Ah! Hi, John. Well, I have an awesome. Yeah, I can't see you right now, but I have an awesome, awesome proposal for you to play He-Man. Where? Well, a TV series because we have to have this commitment from you. We have to, watch you every week and stuff. You're busy with what? With you have this movie, Doctor Dolittle, coming up. Oh, well, that's great. Well, say hi to Robert Downey for me. Okay, thank you. Bye, John.
And Batista is gonna be Skeletor, Sand Rising Pendant.
Ah, good idea.
Dave Batista is Skeletor. Ooh, that's gonna.
Good idea. I watched his latest movie actually, not Uber, but something else was called, like Duber, Muber.
Back to the topic.
It's not bad. But yeah, back to the topic, and we have a lot of stuff in the comment. Just let me get to that. So, real quick, okay. Ivy says I'm dead. Even your cat was like, "What the fuck is my human doing?" Well, he's talking. And Ivy's like, "So she's freestyling her way through superheroism. Don't think it's a smart idea. Well, heck, let's press this button." Yeah, she's like Diddy, almost Diddy from Dexter.
Ooh,
Like,
what does
what?
this button do? Did he get out?
AKA people, yeah, I read that. The more they make heroes dependent on others, the less um, spectacular they seem. Like he also say, if you want to add character, take it to epic proportions.
Yeah.
Same it does when I came in Sophia and Batista is Skeletor. Yeah, okay, well, don't worry, I have lots where this come from, and Theo has
Mhm.
as well. So
So back to the show. The second episode moves the story along. So we already know that uh, what was like Beth is the sister, but what was she called? Jasmine or something? I
no,
forgot.
I think she was called Beth, and her name is Alice.
Alice, Alice. Oh yes,
Her
Alice is
villain name is
villain.
Alice.
Yeah.
That's from the
So
comics.
you got that. So they like, but Kate wants to meet with her. They have secret a cold word, which is from the comics. I want to point that out. And they meet. She confirms that Beth is alive and she's her sister. She blames her father in flashbacks for giving up because she found skull fragments. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, how did
So
that
the
happen?
story is moving along. Like, just this is a recap. The story is moving along. The show is happening. It's moving along. There is a flow of story of bio of exposition of flashbacks of whatever of unresolved love tensions between the now married ex-girlfriend. Don't even get that, please.
Oh, yeah.
And we all know what's gonna happen, right? Like, you know
Mm.
what's gonna happen. They're gonna hook up again. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh,
You
okay.
already know. You already know they're gonna hook.
God.
And it's that's it. Like, that's it. You see the second episode, and it has happened. It's not terrible compared to the first episode, but it brings absolutely nothing interesting to follow up. Like it, with me, like if you ask me, every episode should have one interesting thing at least. Like let's say DC Titans. Every episode had something interesting. Was it controversial? Most of the times, yes. It was stupid, controversial, but it was interesting, and it moved the plot in an interesting way. And it eventually became a good season. It actually went good. Here you have the epic controversial first episode that we just ranted about, and you have the most mundane, boring, just happened to exist second episode that ever existed. Nothing happens of value. Nothing. It's just, oh yeah, okay, they met. Yeah, uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's the end.
And I also see how there's potential for a very awesome parody. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
there's so many things that could be, made into
someone's
parody.
already doing it. You know,
Oh, I hope
someone's
so.
sitting
I
in their
hope so.
basement and doing it with his buddies while they're high.
I hope so. It's gonna be so funny.
Like hopefully, I actually part of me wants to see this show move in a better direction and just do something because again it's a DC show. We love DC, we love the characters, we want to see them done good, and I still want that to happen. I want this series to turn like Titans, starting off bad and controversial with all the weird trailers and everything that got us ranting, and then just actually ending on a good note on the first season. I haven't watched the season, but the first season was good. Overall, it was good.
By the way, Pudding, can you switch that setting in if it's on though in Discord where it only records your voice when it's like when you're talking, but the rest of the silence is not recorded because sometimes it cuts off half of the sentence that you're saying just because it's on. And
You should navigate me what I
yeah,
do.
I can't touch the program right now, but it's in the voice audio settings, and somewhere you have to have
Let
the
us see.
the setting where only records, only listens to you when you're talk, but then the rest of it is like completely dead, silent.
Mm-hmm. Just a second.
hmm I mean, noise detection
Can you
is
hear
very
me
bad.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Do
Yes,
you see this?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sorry.
It's perfect at the moment.
Ah, okay. So I can leave it like that.
Yeah, if it's not breaking up anymore, it's perfect then.
No.
Because for
I
now, it's not
also
breaking up.
I'm also gonna be completely still,
Why?
so I not move.
Why? You're not breaking up visually. The only the sound was the issue.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure because this setting I tested it before and it was the problem. Okay, so now everything looks perfect. Continuing.
What?
Continue.
That was it.
Ah,
Actually, this is
ah,
this
that,
this is this is my synopsis. Second episode,
ah.
nothing happened. Like I don't know what to talk about the second episode because there's nothing that is of any value.
I see, I see. But now you're starting to break up, damn it. Okay. I mean, it's
I
the
don't know
same.
why.
Yeah. I have to show you that setting later. Maybe you touched something else. I don't know.
Well, I wanted to sit completely still.
Okay. Well, guys, actually, it's 11. Well, we do actually have to finish this, guys. What? Honestly, I will never accept the trolling Netflix did with Starfire. What is Netflix has to do
Yeah,
with this?
Netflix Titans was on Netflix and they did Starfire in a black hooker outfit, and I completely agree with the Sand Rising, but
Ah,
her character was actually pretty good.
as a
Visually
character.
not, but the backstory was actually good.
Uh-huh, I
I
see.
completely agree with Sand on the visuals.
Yeah, the visuals were atrocious, I would say.
Yeah, Black Hood. Oh, I hear the bell. I hear the bell.
Uh,
That was basically a Black Hooker.
Yeah, so what I want to say real quick is that about Batwoman, there's so many things that we can, like, you know, pull, with the string from the show because it does do some other things not very good. And the other thing is that there's so many HGW things that are just smaller ones here and there, like drops, and from that you can go a long way. Like for instance, the thing that I said with her girlfriend being African American, I'm sure on purpose, just to show that she's not supposed to be dating a white girl, for instance, because
Yeah.
she's not racist. So of course that when she's not racist, she has to date another race, whatever that race is. And then we have Asian characters, two of
Oh
them for
yeah.
now, and all of those things that are just little things here and there, but they become so obvious. Maybe little, but they become so obvious because they repeat in the other shows.
Yeah.
So I mean that we have to we can draw other topics. It's just endless pool of topics from only from those two episodes, and only because these things repeat so much, and they're very actually important to point out because it is not used to be this way.
If
Uh,
they did all of it in a single double episode, it was going to be so much better. Like because it doesn't feel like a different episode. It just feels like a continuation. And yes, I know that that's what actually the next episode should be, but it doesn't introduce something that is not already introduced plainly and very detailed.
yeah,
Aside from her girlfriend, no, actually, was that in the first or the second episode being married? Oh no, it
first
was in the first.
in the first last
In
few
the first in the
minutes.
end. So yeah, nothing, nothing, nothing. You have nothing.
Yeah, they're trying to make us care about a relationship that we don't really know very much about anyways, just like the basics of what happened and that's it.
Yeah.
That's another point. But you know what's going to be really funny if all those characters, like in Crisis on Infinite Earths, get together along with all of the cast. I mean, all of the other characters, like the guy with the glasses from the cave, the Cisco guy, the Mr.
Oh, the
Terrific
Geek
guy,
Squad.
and then you will see what. Then when you put them together, you see the same characters how they visually repeat on the screen. It's going to be hilarious, hilarious how
Yeah,
they
their acting
repeat.
is entirely the same. They're probably gonna do a spin on that and just do a little side joke to redeem themselves.
What do you mean? What do you
You know,
mean?
like they're gonna meet the Geek Squad is gonna meet and like, hey, you sound like
Ah.
we're basically the same. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna do a little inside joke just to redeem themselves for being too like too like this of the same. Sorry, forgot the word.
Oh yeah, Ivy. Ivy just summed everything up. Sounds like the first episode. Back enough issues for a 50-hour stock. You're absolutely
Basically
right.
dead, yes.
You're painfully correct here, dear Ivy. So that is it, guys. Second episode better. First episode absolutely SJW bull crap, filled with
Yeah.
so much stuff that should not be there, and to put Batman down and all of that. That's just disrespectful to Batman and to her. And yeah, should not be the case. So that is it from us, and I hope that you enjoyed this talk. Thank you very much to Helzo, that I mean in this side, sorry, in this side that joined this awesome conversation, and have a great Tuesday, guys.
Stay strong. More
Bye.
coming.
Bye, guys. Kisses.
Bye.